Welcome back to Mastering MHA MBA. This is chapter 4, and its theme is the one thing every manager does, all day, every day, making decisions. As the chapter says, there is no substitute for a good one. In 2010, a copper mine collapsed in Chile, trapping 33 men 2,300 feet underground. Their shift leader, Luis Urzua, had no certainty and no easy answers. But the decisions he made, rationing food, organizing shifts, keeping morale alive, helped keep every man alive for 69 days until all were rescued. Management at its core is decision making under pressure. Most decisions are far less dramatic, but the skill is the same. Managers sit at the center of constant information flows, like a nerve center, gathering, processing, and acting on what they learn. That is why we call them knowledge workers. Their value comes from their minds, not their muscles. Good problem solving rests on three competencies: technological competency, the ability to use the right tools; information competency, the ability to find credible, valuable information, not just whatever pops up online; and analytical competency, the ability to interpret it all, find the patterns, and decide. Tools, facts, and judgment. People approach problems in three very different ways. The problem avoider ignores trouble and hopes it goes away. The problem solver reacts and fixes issues once they appear. And the problem seeker actively hunts for problems and opportunities before they become crises. Guess which one tends to get ahead? Decisions come in two flavors. Programmed decisions are routine, the kind you can handle with a standard rule or procedure. Non-programmed decisions are new and unique, with no template to follow. The mistake managers make is treating a novel problem like a routine one. Know which kind you are facing. There are also two ways to think a decision through. Systematic thinking is step by step and analytical, breaking a problem into parts. Intuitive thinking is fast and holistic, a gut feel built on experience and pattern recognition. Neither is always better. Great managers blend both, matching the mode to the moment. And we each have a default cognitive style, a habitual way of taking in and using information. Some of us zero in on facts and details. Others see the big picture first. Some lean on cold logic, others on the human impact. There is no single right style. The skill is knowing your default and flexing when the situation demands it. One more thing shapes every decision: how much you actually know. Managers decide in three very different environments, and recognizing which one you're in changes everything. In a condition of certainty, you know the outcomes of each option. Easy but rare. Under risk, you do not know the outcome, but you can estimate the probabilities. And under uncertainty, you are essentially flying blind, with little data to go on. Most real management decisions live in the world of risk, and the toughest ones, like Urzua's, in uncertainty. Now, here is the modern twist. The challenge today is not too little information. It is far too much. Humanity creates over 400 million terabytes of data every single day. The average worker is interrupted around 275 times a day and faces over 100 emails and 150 chat messages. More data does not automatically mean better decisions. In fact, it can mean worse ones. Artificial intelligence can help, digesting massive data streams and spotting patterns no human could. But constantly checking and validating AI output drains your focus, and too many choices lead to decision fatigue, where judgment quietly degrades. A smart manager protects their decision energy like a budget, which brings us to the real lesson. Data informs, but judgment decides. Luis Urzua had almost no information and no certainty, only his values, his experience, and his responsibility to his team. In the end, the manager's edge is not having more data. It is the judgment to act wisely with whatever you have. Let us recap part 1. Managers solve problems using technological, information, and analytical competencies. Decisions are programmed or non-programmed, approached systematically or intuitively. They happen under certainty, risk, or uncertainty. And in a world drowning in data, judgment is what turns information into action. This builds on our chapter notes from Schermerhorn and Bachrach's Exploring Management, 7th edition, drawing on the Decision Environment Framework and the Chilean Mine Rescue, updated with 2025 research on data overload and decision fatigue. We always show you the sources. we have set the stage. In part 2, we walk through the 5 steps of the decision making process, the practical method great managers use to actually make the call. If this is helping, subscribe and we will see you there.